Hello everybody. Hello. Welcome again to Zack Time. Today we're going to be playing for the Virtual Console Wii U WarioWare Incorporated Mega Microgames. Well, let's just get to it and we'll start discussing the fundamentals of what this is as it comes. So alright. There we go, look at that. Released in 2003. That's a good year for video games. Okay, so this is kind of an interesting game to own on WiiWare. Let's turn screen filtering off. There we go. Look at that. Okay, so the story is, I think it's that Wario wants to make money, so he devises a way to make money by opening up his own business of minigames. I won't spoil the story for you. We will start playing. Press start, because I want you to see what this game is all about, because it's a lot of fun. And as per usual, the name Sack. R button, chance. Okay, well, how about this name? Okay, which? Ooh, I guess I'm a boy. Diamond City 2000X. Those that window has long since passed. Alright, can we skip this? I don't think so. This is also the kind of game where I'm not going to be doing much button customization because it's not like an active action game, so A and B are fine just where they are, since you're primarily just using A. Okay, so the game is going to start you off playing just a couple random games. Like they're quick, they're like 5 seconds each, and you just fulfill an objective and go to the next one, and then they keep going and they get harder, they get faster, and there's a variety of styles in this title. So I'll show you a couple examples. I don't think we're going to be able to get to 9 volt, who's my personal favorite. But here we go. Stop mid. Press A, boom. There you have it. On to the next. There you go. One button, one objective. Very simple. And they start getting very fast. I mean, the game clock actually just starts speeding up, and they have different objectives eventually, which are, you know, like you have to collect more things on the way down, or the straw that you're catching is shorter, or you're... this one you actually use the D-pad, just avoid the soccer balls. Eventually there's more soccer balls, or it's, you know, more clothing to catch as it gets into higher difficulty levels, and then there's a boss level. And if you beat a boss level, you actually go on to the next world. But if you go back and replay a world where you've beaten the boss, beating a boss will just end up giving you an extra heart, basically. Those little 4 meters up at the top are your life meters. In fact, we'll die real quick. Oh, boss stage, never mind. Spar. Okay, so the timing is just to keep hitting this thing over and over. Boom. Boss stage complete. Alright, so first stage basically done, and it's not just like those 10 little games. There's probably like 20 to 25, if I'm not mistaken. And see, there's a shark, which comes out for that jumping mini game, so he's a little bit longer. Then I think there's like a hot dog car, and I think sometimes the actual cars themselves will jump, so you're supposed to stand there. And it's... There's a lot of interesting variety. But first of many, let's keep going. Let's check out a few more. Look at that grin. Those big soap-looking teeth. Next, it's Jimmy. Cult favorite. Maybe he'll be in the next Smash Brothers. Oh, we're saving or downloading? Okay, let's go to Jimmy's game. See what this is all about. Cannot skip the story sequences, which is alright, because they're entertaining. Nice little graphical style. Again, one of my favorite things about the Game Boy Advance in general is that it has, you know, this Super Nintendo style quality. For all intents and purposes, that's what it was. So, you know, it's like we're just having a bunch of new Super Nintendo games show up on the Virtual Console. Okay. Look at how bad A this is. He's just dancing. I'm gonna get a lot of ladies this evening. Big old lips. Okay. Start it up, Jimmy. I want to play.
Good boy.
Okay.
Come on.
I believe there's actually an endless mode of that game, particularly, which is a lot of fun. This one you have to use the D-pad to adjust and the A button. And it's fun because half the enjoyment is actually figuring these out. Because they're really simple, and you know, a lot of them you might not get your first try. Some are fairly intuitive, some are not. But whatever the case, that's sort of what makes it so fun. Is just experimenting, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, and then just trying again. Ooh, okay, there we go. Almost bad. Speed up, shoot, figure jump, basketball, catch. Go back and forth, left and right, and they don't tell you, you know, which buttons to press. You just sort of gotta figure it out. Oh, thank goodness. Hurdle. But it is neat because there is kind of an intuition used as to what you should be doing. You know, things kind of make sense, and there's a couple that are pretty obscure, and the trial and error is there, but. And I believe there's actually a handful of multiplayer games in this as well, but they're like not conventional multiplayer. It's a different style where, I mean, there's small versus games, but both players are using the same controller, as that's how the Game Boy version was, because they weren't. Here's a Punch-Out style game. Boom. See, I'm just little Mac killing this weird like pan sage. Alright, 15 down, and we'll see if it unlocks any of the multiplayer stuff. Because, like, for example, player 1 might use the D-pad and L, and player 2 might use A and B and R, and we might do something. Or they might use L and R, and I might use the D-pad and A, or something like that. And, you know, they're really simple little things, maybe like a foosball kind of thing. Smooth groove, smooth Mick groove. Interesting. But for $6.99, which is a little bit cheaper than some of the other games, it is fun. It's not going to be the same kind of, you know, experience as like a story-driven game, Mario and Luigi, Kirby, or Metroid, or anything like that. But it is like a fun little time waster. I think it might lend itself a little bit more towards a portable experience, you know, Game Boy style. You know, on your 3DS, if you're part of the Ambassador program. But if you weren't able to do that, it's still a fun game just to, you know, sit down, kind of like, you know, NES Remix or anything like that, where you want to kill a couple minutes and not get really invested in something. We're gonna do some of the 9-volt games, so I can show you what these are all about, because these are my favorites, as they're all sort of based off of Nintendo franchises. School. That's where 9-volt's coming from, is his school. It's a pretty cool school. Skateboards all the way home. Decently long way. But there's nobody really too threatening in this town other than Wario, who it's kind of seems like he'd be like a rapist or something. You know, I think some people would feel kind of uncomfortable with him around in their city, but you know, he's just gonna go home and DJ, and maybe he doesn't even think about those terrible things. Okay, so let's try some of these out and see what you guys think. Drop a Game Boy game in there. Okay. So you just play Balloon Fight by tapping A to dodge. Cool. So you probably already see why I'm so in love with these. Now when you only hit A when the duck goes in front of the crosshair, you felled the game. Okay. Just move left and right. Kill the viruses. Felled the game. Please, Super Mario Brother. Alright. Yes. See, all I want is F-Zero. That's just my favorite. And you just jump the barrels. Speed increased. SWAT. Some Mario Paint throwback right here. And so a lot of fun, of course, is, you know, being able to identify a bunch of the Nintendo franchises that they're working with these. Get some Rob action. Look at this. Look at this. How could you not like this? And I could sit there and play these forever. Shoot the cowboy in the chest. The game appears. Dodge. I'm doing it. I'm going for it. Dodging. Okay, get with the boss fight on this one. This is Star Fox. Some mother brain face. In the mother face. Levi Stubbs. Some Virtual Boy. Okay, okay, draw. Boss game appears. I wish, man. I wish IRL. Hit 6. Oh, this is the batting cage. This is like Rusty's Real Deal Baseball. Play ball. I'm gonna do that well at this one. I can always hit it. Alright, alright. I just want to play Rusty's Real Deal Baseball, which I usually don't make a lot of plugs for other games during these little sack time things. Maybe I do, I don't even know, I'm not really paying attention. But you should pick that up as well too, or at least give the demo a shot because it's free. Anyway, back to WarioWare. Back to WarioWare, which is $6.99 on the eShop. And if you're a sucker for high scores, you know, this is a lot of fun. Plus, you can, you know, post scores to the Miiverse at this point and challenge people, and that's always enjoyable. It really lends itself well towards that experience, so that's one big perk. You know, it'd be awesome if there was like native Miiverse integration or something like this, but being able to simply post a screenshot of high scores is still a really good way to go, and I think that's a great move on Nintendo's part for any game to be able to do that. So, yeah, this just came out today along with Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, and you know, I could spend hours playing games like this because there's a lot of times where I don't have time to sit down and get, you know, really into something. But this is a good way to go, and there's a good variety. I think there's over 200 games total across all the different like characters and styles. So, you know, depending on how much you want to play something like this, you can definitely get your money's worth out of it. It's a great deal, definitely. It just has to be your kind of game. So hopefully you're into, you know, small bite-sized experiences. That's totally what this is, and again, totally worth it. Anyway, that's what this is, and this has been another episode of Sack Time. Oh, you know what? We're gonna try this real quick. I'm sorry, I preemptively ended Sack Time. All right, Chiri Tori. We're gonna do this real quick and double check the player mechanic. Okay, so I would just use L, somebody else would use R. I'm actually gonna check something. Okay, cool, and you can actually have it on 2 controllers. I'm using the Pro controller right now, and I have the gamepad right next to me, and that means 2 people could independently control their stuff without any issue. However, you could also F with somebody else, you know, because you could hit their button and just be a jerk. But if you decide not to, then good. You're a good sport. So collect the pieces of paper as like the little Roombas, and you know, there's not much to it, but it's enjoyable. So, all right, there's a quick example. Let's go ahead and do exit. So off to the left, you know, it does say 2 players, which is technically true. It's primarily a single-player game. Endless mode right down here. I'll show you that too. Fine, geez, you guys. Okay. Oh, this is nice because it looks nice. You get to see Wario's delicious bottom jump up in the air. And I remember playing this a lot. Just when I was at work on my break, I would sit there and just do jump rope high scores. It eventually gets faster and faster, and they start mixing it up with going really fast, then one slow one, and it just, it's good. I don't know. I like crap like this, and maybe that's why there's some merit to certain cell phone games that have this really simplistic quality. But you know, that's kind of the charm, is just a single button high score run, and that's all you're going for, you know? Everybody wants to do that. You get to play as Delicious Wario. I don't think there's any other characters you get to play as, which is kind of a shame, but it also doesn't really matter at all because that's not really the point. And would they have different attributes anyway? No, because then that would sort of defeat the purpose, unless there's individual high scores for all the different attribute characters. Well, whatever the case, we get that high score made. We'll just see how far we can go, and then I'll let you guys go buy this game on your own, because that's all you want. Random speed. Ooh, see? Ooh. And sort of tell with the music as well too if you want to try to time it that way. I'm probably going to do really bad. Well, because I'm technically at the high score right now, but I don't know what like the world score is for something like this. It's probably something insane. Somebody with infinite patience. Alright, well, you guys get the idea. There you go. So, yes, WarioWare, $6.99, eShop, out today. It is recommended for those of you who wish for the small experiences and just a fun little time killer. If that's not your cup of tea, I'd recommend checking out Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, which we should have some footage of fairly soon. So thank you guys for watching Sack Time. It's been a pleasure, I'm sure.